again.
There we go. Yeah. Hey, you guys. Thanks so much for joining our fundraising class for Black Lives Matter and the National Bailout Fund. We stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, and I genuinely believe that moving our bodies is a way that we can heal together. And so I am so glad you're here with me today to do so. Please do make a donation if you're able. The links are below, and you can also find them on our Instagram channel at Wunda Bar Pilates. So let's go ahead and get moving. All right, so we are going to use no props today. It's just going to be your body weight and the floor. So you don't need a whole lot of space. We're going to stay just about on the surface of our mat. And let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with a plank today because why not? It's everybody's favorite. Let's have our hands nice and wide on the mat, shoulder width with fingertips spread apart. Step your feet back 4 inches apart parallel and lengthen your body from head to toe in your best diagonal. We want to make sure we're not allowing the hips to stick up or hang down. So we want to find that beautiful diagonal line reaching from the crown of your head, lengthening through the spine and all the way out through the heels. I like to think about my abdominals, drawing up on the front side of the body as the tailbone reaches long on the back side of the body. So it's almost like a 2-lane highway, right? We've got some drawing up and in return the other draws down. Can you find some breath in the elbows? Find lightness in the elbows and breath across the shoulder blades, across the collarbones. Let's hold for 6, for 5, for 4, finding length and lightness. Last 2, and go ahead and bring the knees down. All right, while we're here, let's bring our elbows down onto the floor. So now forearms are down and my knees are closed together. No light between the knees and the toes. Stick your booty out a little bit to find your neutral pelvis. We're going to send the right leg long. The toes graze across the mat. Reach the leg fully extended and then it floats up at a diagonal. Straight away, you'll feel the back line of the leg and the abdominals working at a diagonal. Holding here, we're going to cross the leg behind us and touch down the opposite side of the mat and then bring it back up to that center diagonal. Let's do one more like that. The pelvis is not moving. It's the leg sweeping through the dome of the pelvis. Hold here. If you'd like to find more tricep activation, hover the elbows up off the mat just a few inches. It gets spicy real fast. And then we are going to swivel the leg behind us and bring it back up to start. Keep working on your end. I'm going to show you from a different angle so you can see how the leg crosses over the body, okay? So the leg starts centered behind you, and then it crosses over the body and returns back to start, okay? So let's do a few more of those, elbows up or down. It's entirely up to you today. Find your best challenge. Find the whole body working together. Inhale as we lengthen. And we're exhaling as we cross the leg over. Let's go for one more here. Find beautiful length the whole time, reaching the left hip away from the left shoulder. Float the right leg back up and soften the knee back in to start. We're going to come onto our left forearm. So it's going to look like this. Left forearm only is down on the mat. Left knee is bent and right leg is long. We're going to go into some side arcs. So float the body up and off the mat. Right arm is extended and your hips are level. From here, we're going to inhale as we arc. And then we're going to exhale, bring it back to start. So I'm lifting the bottom ribs, lifting the pelvis, arcing over like a rainbow as you inhale. And then we're going to exhale, bring it back to start. Extra challenge, float that right leg up off the floor. Inhale as you arc and lengthen. Exhale as you bring it back to start. So it's not a huge range of movement. We want to think about fanning open the top ribs and keeping length on the bottom side of the body as we arc. So we want to keep lots of length as we inhale and lift and exhale, bring it back to start. One more just like this. Inhaling as we arc, exhale, hold. Everyone float the right leg up. If you haven't chosen that yet, bring that right leg up because we're going to sweep it forward. Pelvis doesn't move. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen it back to start. We're going to inhale as we bring that leg forward and lengthen it back to start. So we want to keep the pelvis neutral. Keep working on your end. I'm going to demonstrate from a different angle. So as the leg comes forward, we want to make sure the pelvis stays neutral. We don't want to let the tailbone roll under and crowd the body. So keep that length the whole time. It's the femur head, the thigh bone moving through the pelvis, and the pelvis holds steady. All right, let's do 2 more of those. I'll get back in there with you. We're going to bring the leg forward. That right arm up gives us more cardio burn, more calorie burn as we're working. This is going to be the last one forward, but good news, we're not going anywhere. Swivel that inner thigh back. You'll notice the toes dip down, but the pelvis didn't move. Little tiny lift and internal rotation. Oh, it burns on the first one, I know. Lengthen the waistline. Try not to sink down into that shoulder. Last 4. You got this, gang. Last 3. Stay with me. We're going on our back next in 2. And this is our last one. Level out the leg. Return it to the end of the mat and lower it down. All right, let's go on to our backs. We're going to go into some crisscross. It's one of my favorites. I love this one. So we're going to lay down on our backs. Interlace your hands behind the base of the skull. That's not for show. You should really feel the weight of your head heavy in your hands. Find your neutral pelvis, length on the front body, and float both legs up into your tabletop position. From here, think about tractioning the spine long. Tailbone is heavy in the floor. On the inhale, right leg reaches long. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, left leg reaches long. Exhale, bring it in. Let's add the rotation. As we bring the right leg long, we rotate towards the left inner thigh. And then we bring it back through the middle. Rotate towards the right inner thigh and bring it back to the middle. So the idea is that we're peeling the shoulder blade up and off the floor. The point is not to get the elbow and the knee to touch. I want more length on the front body, more stability through the spine. So we're building that stability by holding length and using that inhale to rotate up. Exhale back through center. Inhale, rotate up, peel the shoulder blade off. Exhale back through center. Make sure you're not just shortening the front side of the body. Try not to add any wrinkles to your shirt or your tank top or your skin, whatever's showing. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale back to center. 1 more each side, guys. Inhale as we rotate. Exhale, bring it in. Find that length and that lift. Hold in the center. We're holding in the center. Head and shoulders are lifted. Tailbone is heavy. Single leg reach. We're not going to move the torso now. Right leg reaches, switch it to the left. Think about the hamstrings delivering the legs long with your breath and the abdominals stabilizing. Inhale to reach, exhale, bring it in. Beautiful job, gang. We're going to do 2 more. You can choose to do 2 legs at the same time, or you can do 1 at a time. This is the last extension. And exhale with control. Bring your arms down to the floor, head down, and then bring your feet all the way down. All right, let's rise up to a standing position, and we're gonna go into a lunge plie repeat, okay? So what we're gonna do is start in a wide turned out position. My feet are wider than the shoulders, and they're turned out. We're gonna keep the sternum right over your pubic bone as we exhale and lower down. So from a profile, it looks like this. We didn't bow forward, we're staying upright. And then we're gonna inhale as we rise. Let's do that again. Exhale as we lower down, and inhale as we rise. On this next one, we're going to add a lunge. So it looks like this. Exhale as you lower into the plie. Inhale, come up. We're going to rotate and turn. So now my left foot is forward, right leg is back. Exhale, lower through a lunge. So now it's choreography. We're moving together. Up on the inhale, exhale, plie through the middle. Inhale, now we've turned the other direction. Right leg is forward. Exhale for that lunge. Inhale, come up. Exhale through the plie in the middle. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, other side. So we're going to do this at your own pace. I want the breath pattern to be exhaling on the way down. Inhaling using your breath for lightness on the way up. Working without stopping at the top or the bottom, okay? Inhale up. Exhale down. Hold this next one with your left leg forward and your right leg back. Both knees are bent a lot. From here, I'm going to ask you to extend your arms up, melt the shoulder blades down into the back body, And then what we're going to do is we're going to inhale as we tip the pelvis over that thigh bone. So that femur bone isn't moving. Now we are toning, lifting the booty, and conditioning the hips. So if you say that you have tight hips, I hear it all the time. If you feel that in your body, this is going to help condition, open things up, as well as sculpt and tone. So the leg is not moving. We are simply visualizing the dome of the pelvis rolling over that femur head. The arms add additional cardio challenge and additional challenge to the core. So arms up or down, entirely up to you. Exhale as we lengthen forward. Inhale, bring it up. Last one. Exhale, everyone hold here. So we're holding in the forward lean. Bring the arms long. I want you to find that tricep activation from in between the shoulder blades. Peel the left heel up off the floor just an inch or two. Hold. Checking that you're not hanging out in that left hip. We don't want to sink deeply into the left hip. We want to think about the femur going in as the knee stretches out. My right leg is now long. My left knee is bent. We're holding and breathing. Isometric challenge. Try not to hang out in that hip joint. Actively hold yourself from the core, lifting off of the legs for 5, for 4. Get those triceps active. Reach the arms as long as you can. And set the heel down. Don't go anywhere. Come up and over on an inhale. Exhale. Now we're down in that plie in the center. Holding here. We are going to pick up our right heel, and then we're going to imprint it all the way back down. We're going to pick up the left heel and imprint it all the way back down. Now, this is not about the ankle joint popping open. You think about that inner thigh spiraling towards the sky, and that is what's going to pick your heel up off the floor. Exhaling as we put it down. Inhale to bring it up, flooding the arms down into the middle back. Hold the right heel up. Hold it up this time. We're going to pick up the left heel. Now both heels are raised. If that's not a good challenge for you, it doesn't feel great today, then go ahead and put one or both down. And we're going to lower down as the arms go up. And then we're going to bring it back to start. So we're working in that middle range. So we're not coming all the way to standing, and we're not going as low as we can. We're going somewhere in between, because that middle range is really going to do the trick, guys. Let's go for 3 more here. We've got that lunge to handle on the other side. Keep it controlled. Keep your breath active. Every time we lift, it's an inhale. This is going to be the last one. Exhaling down. Inhale, hold. Place the left heel down with control. Place the right heel down with control. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, rise up. Turn. So now the right leg is forward. We're going to lower into the lunge here. Exhaling, hold at the bottom. Arms can raise up for additional challenge. We are going to exhale as we roll over that femur head, and then inhale, use that breath for length to bring it back up. Exhale, visualize the dome of the pelvis. So you guys keep working on that, and I'm going to give you a little visual aid. So if this is your femur head here, the dome of the pelvis is rolling over it. It's lubricating the hip so that the hip has better functionality when you're walking, sitting, standing, doing anything. And it's also lifting your touch. So you're welcome. We have just a few more here, guys. We're exhaling as we roll over. Inhale. Think about the breath, aligning your spine back to upright. This is going to be our last one. Rolling forward, hold and breathe. Arms are going to come long. Spread the fingertips open on this side. Reach the triceps very active. And then we're going to pick up the right heel, because that right inner thigh invited it up and off the floor. Get those triceps active, reaching long. It's not about height. Think about that femur head reaching away from the knee and not just sinking down into that hip. It should feel very active. For 6, for 5, find your length. For 4, we have a side bridge on the right in 2, and bring your right heel down with control. Inhale and rise up. Okay, let's lay back down. We have our right forearm on the mat, and our right knee is bent on the mat. Left leg is long, so it's going to look like this. Okay, left arm goes up. That's additional cardio challenge. And we're going to inhale as we arc. Exhale as we bring it back. Inhale as we fan open the top ribs. And exhale as we bring it back to start. Inhaling, arcing and reaching. Think about the bottom ribs still maintaining length and space. You also have the option to float the left leg up and off the floor as we arc, and that's going to increase the balance challenge, and it's going to tone the legs and the booty, and really get into that waistline as well. Let's go for 3 more here. Arcing as we inhale. Exhale, bringing it back. Think about the head staying in line with the spine. Think about that leg not floating down to the floor if you've chosen to pick it up. And let's hold. Now everyone's going to float that left leg up and off the floor. We're going to exhale as we sweep it forward. And then we're going to inhale as we lengthen it back to start. Just a few of these, guys. Exhale, creasing the front side of that left hip. Inhale, bring it forward. Now remember, we don't want the tailbone to roll with us. We want to keep that organized. Keep your pelvis quiet. Last one, let's hold the leg forward. Swivel the inner thigh back so the toes go down. And then it's a tiny little lift. Oh, it burns, I know, right there through the glute med. That's all the way up to the belt line. Last 4, last 3. This is 2. We're going into upper body jumps. Last one. And bring your hip and leg all the way down. Okay, guys, we're going to mimic what we do on the jump board in studio. And we're going to have our elbows down on the floor. If you can sit all the way down on your heels, that's great. That's not good for your knees. You can always operate from a higher start position. So let's bring our forearms down onto the ground. We're going to do these with rotation and arm circles today. So it's going to look like this. Here we go. We're exhaling to prepare. And now we're going to inhale as we rise. Let's just get that movement started first. Exhale as we lower down. Inhale, think about the front side of the hips opening. Exhale on the way down. Let's add an arm circle. Inhale, up and over with the arms. Exhale as we bring it down. Inhale as we lift the arms circle, increasing functionality through the shoulders, loosening up the neck. Exhale as we bring it down. Inhale as we come up and around. Exhale, bring it down. Let's go for 2 more like that, then we're going to add the rotation. You'll feel that cardio effort really kicking on. Use that inhale to lift you rather than just your booty to push you, okay? We're adding the rotation now. It looks like this. Right arm up, left arm back, and I'm rotating the ribs. That's an inhale. Exhale, down through the middle. Inhale, other direction. So the whole time, guys, I'd like your pelvis shining straight forward. That is not moving with you. We're moving the ribs and the arms and the shoulders, but not moving the pelvis. Keep working on your end. So I like to think about when I rotate to the right, or to the left rather, that my left hip comes forward a little bit. So you're still going down and up. I'm just trying to talk to you about technique. We want to have the hips stable while the ribs do that rotation around the spine. Let's go for 2 more on each side. We're going to inhale as we rise up, pulling the arms into the middle back, exhaling down, inhaling up on the other side, exhaling down. Last time with a rotation towards the left. Exhale as you go through the middle. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale through the middle and release. All right, we are right there. So let's go ahead and get that leg crossover done on this side. So elbows are down on the mat, knees and toes are glued together. We're going to find a neutral pelvis. So you don't want to curl into a ball here. We're finding a neutral pelvis. And then we're going to reach that left leg long, 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 long. Send the leg long first before you pick it up. Then we float the leg up into our best diagonal. Pay attention that your low back does not change position. And then just like on the other side, guys, we're going to arc and cross the leg over and bring it back up to start. So the pelvis does not track with that leg moving. It stays quiet. So keep your hips quiet. You always have the option to hover the elbows up off the mat. And that's going to increase the challenge and fire up those triceps in a really significant way. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhale as we cross. Find that neutral pelvis. That means that we don't have any kind of an overarching shape either way. Keep going on your end. We don't want to dump the pelvis forward or roll it under us. We want to find a nice natural curve to the spine as we're working. Let's go for 2 more here, gang. We're going to exhale as we cross, elbows up or down. It's entirely up to you. We're going into a Wunda twist next. Bring the leg all the way up and float the leg to the floor. All right, so if you need to, you can roll those shoulders out. We're gonna have our hands shoulder width distance on the mat and extend our legs back. So this is going to look like a plank when we first set it up. Now we're gonna cross the right foot under the left, and now my hips are rotated to the side, shoulders shine forward. Here we go. We're gonna do it with a round spine today. Nod the chin, round the spine. Exhale as you lift, and the pelvis swivels. It's now parallel with the shoulders. Inhale as you unwind and come back into your flat back, but it's a twisted plank. Exhale, nod the chin, round the spine, lift from under the ribs. Get a really deep curl here, guys, opening up the back body. Inhale as we unwind. Nod the chin, round and lift from under the ribs. And inhale as you unwind. Just a few more here, gang. Find that lift even in the exhale. Think about that breath helping to propel you upright and the breath lengthening you back out. This is going to be the last one. We're going to hold the side twisted plank. Hold. Exhale, shift the weight back, both knees bent. Inhale, lengthen the legs back out. 4 times. Exhale as we soften the knees. Inhale as we extend back to start. Last 2. Exhaling here, find lots of length, guys. Inhale forward. Exhale, creasing deeply at the hips. Inhale, bring it forward. Unwind to your plank and set your knees down. All right, let's go into our bridge. Give those shoulders a break from holding our body up. Let's go into our bridge. We're going to do some marching with our bridge today. So arms go long for support in the floor. And we're going to have our feet 4 inches apart, parallel. Here we go. We're going to pick up the pelvis without rounding the spine. We're just going to think about those glutes helping the hamstrings to lift the hips up. So if you feel gripping in the hamstrings, that means you're not relying enough on the glutes and you're not relying enough on the middle back. So you can share that work through the entire back line of the body. We're going to float the right leg up into tabletop. And then go ahead and foot roll it down. That means toe, ball of foot, heel comes down. Pick it up. We're going to load the weight into the right side as we lift the left leg up. And then we're going to foot roll down, toe, ball, heel. Pick it up, float the leg up into that tabletop, and lower it back down. You can do these at your own pace as long as you keep that pelvis quiet. So we don't want to see any belly dancing through those hips. If you're looking for additional challenge, we can go into diagonal slings. It would look like this. Left arm reaches long as the right leg comes into tabletop and switch sides. Left leg comes up into tabletop, right arm goes long. So this really gets into the waistline and what we call the diagonal slings of the body. Stabilizing the pelvis and finding deep activation from head to toe for every exercise. Lift and lengthen. Bring it back. This is our last time on the right. And bring it back down. This is the last time on the left, gang. Bring it back down. Good news. We're going to stay up at the top for a few more little reps here. What we're going to do is peel both heels up and off the floor just by a few inches. And then imprint those heels down as if you could send the bones through the mat. And then we're going to pick those heels back up, reaching the kneecaps nice and long, and imprint the heels back down. Go ahead and pick it up 2 more times. Find length in the low back, reach your tailbone long, just like we started class. This is our last one. Pick both heels up, float the arms up to the sky if that's accessible to you. Otherwise, keep them where they are. Draw the psoas up, your deep abdominals up as the tailbone reaches long for 5, for 4, for 3, with control from behind your heart. Melt down, lengthening the spine as we slowly glide all the way down. When the tailbone unwinds, that's when we're going to set the heels down as well. All right, let's take care of that Wunda twist on the other side. I'm excited. Are you excited? It's one of my favorites as well. I say that a lot because they're all my favorites. All right, guys, here we go. Hands are wide, starfish palms. Step back into your best plank. Left foot comes under the right this time. Hips swivel, so we're twisted in a plank. Nod the chin. Exhale. Round and lift, rising all the way up. Inhale as you unwind. Exhale, nod your chin. Round the spine. And lift all the way up. Find that length. Even in the exhale, really use that breath to help lift and propel the body towards the sky. Swivel the pelvis. Outer thighs are magnetized. Just don't kick out of the legs. This is not meant to load only into the shoulder and the core. You want to find the legs actively supporting you and actively working every time. We've got one more full range of movement in that rounded spine position. Exhale as you round. Inhale as you unwind, hold in that twisted plank. Exhale, bend the knees. We're doing this 4 times. Notice that I'm keeping a flat back now and the hips aren't rising up. It's kind of like I'm on a conveyor belt and sliding straight back. Try to keep the outer thighs magnetized. Keep them active the whole time. 2 more. Exhale as you crease. Inhale, bring it forward. This is going to be our last one. Exhale as you bring it back. We're going to get out of it with control, guys. So come all the way long. Unwind the feet back into that plank. And both knees go down. All right, guys. We're going to go into a little roll down and jump series to finish class. We are almost there. All right. Send your legs long in front of you. Sit up as tall as you can on your sitting bones. So if that means for your body it's a little bend in your knees to sit tall, go for it. Arms come long. Plug the arms into the middle back. Lean with a flat back. This is critical to find the deep abdominal activation. So we didn't round anything yet. Now the tailbone glides under you. You should feel toning through the low belly immediately. Then we're going to slowly lengthen down as if we were setting down the spaces between the vertebra rather than the bones themselves. I like to bring the arms all the way overhead. Then we lengthen and lift on an inhale. This supports the neck, finding the abdominals for support. Once the shoulder blades are up, then we exhale and rise all the way up. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, lengthen with a flat back. Exhale, fire up that low belly by drawing the tailbone long between your feet. And then we're going to slowly roll down, all the way down onto the mat. Hands come overhead. Inhale, pick up the head all the way up through the shoulder blades. Now we exhale to finish bringing it all the way back up into that seated position. All right, guys, we're going to finish with some teaser jumps since we are here. I like to bring my hands onto the mat. If that's aggressive, you can always bring your elbows down, okay? So you do what works for you today. Fingertips are forward, elbows are bent back. Float the legs up into a tabletop position. Glide the tailbone under so you should feel really deep abdominal activation. And draw the knees a little closer to your chest than you think. You'll notice I'm shaking, and I hope you are too on your end. Here we go, guys. Collarbones are wide. We are going to send the legs long on an inhale, point the toes. Exhale, flex the feet. So we're mimicking what would happen if we were on a jump board. Open the front side of the ankles on the way out. That's an inhale. Exhale as you bring it in. This is our last thing, guys. We are going to be stretching together next. So stay with me. And when I say last thing, that's usually not good news because that means we're going to throw down for the last exercise. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale as we extend. Exhale. Oh, what's that? You want to bring your right arm up? Good, me too. Inhale as you extend. Keep your left arm down for stability. Exhale as you bring it in. You'll feel that waistline kicking on in a major way. I certainly do. Stay with me. This is the last one with the right arm reaching. Hold. Bring the right arm down. Don't set your feet down. Left arm goes long. Here we go. Inhale as we extend. Exhale as we bend. Remember when I was like, last thing, you're like, yeah. And now we're still working. Sorry. Inhale as we extend. Exhale, bring it in. This is the last one, guys. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bring it in. Left arm goes down. With control, feet go down. And we return to upright. Amazing work. I'm so glad you were here with me. Let's stretch it out. I quite like a downward dog with rotation to really open up the entire body. So let's do that together. We're going to have our hands at the top of the mat. Step your feet back 4 inches apart parallel like a plank to start with. And then we're going to lift up and back, heels not down. Just take a breath here. Find some gratitude for your health, gratitude for the strength of your body to get through that workout together. And we're going to bend the right knee and rotate the pelvis up and open, the knees reaching behind you. If it feels good in your body, you can extend your right leg, but I notice that that puts pressure on my low back. So just pay good attention to what works for you. And go ahead, unwind, both feet come down to the mat, shift forward into a plank, release those shoulders a little bit, and send it back into that downward facing dog. Now the left knee bends, open up the pelvis, right heel is melting down. Nice deep breath here. Unwind, bring both feet down to the mat, knees go wide, big toes are together. We're going to finish in a child's pose, sinking back deeply onto our heels. Inhaling gratitude for our health and our time together. And exhaling any tension or negativity that is not serving your body or spirit today. And on your next exhale, we're going to round the spine and slowly rise back to upright. You guys, that was so fun to work out with you together. I thank you so much for joining me. If you have not had a chance to donate yet, please do. Links are below or at our Instagram at Wunda Bar Pilates. I hope to work out with you again real soon. Be well.